Just wanted to make everybody aware of some really bad customer service and really bad experience with buying an HP computer at the Best Buy store, Fields, Ertel, Ohio, Cincinnati, Mason area of Ohio. We use HP computers at work. I got a couple of those in addition to a couple of Apple computers that we use. And my home laptop of 8 years finally pooped out. So I had a Lenovo Yoga that I'd used for a long time. I went to Best Buy, that Fields Ertel store, on August 3rd to look and see what they had with 2 terabyte hard drives. Was super excited when we found this HP OmniBook Flip 16. You can see all the info on it there. It's got that 2 terabyte drive and a nice OLED display. So I was really happy to find that. Purchased that on order number 1125215425647. They didn't have the model in store. They had a display but did not have the 2 terabyte model. So they ordered it for delivery to my house. And on that order number, I did have a couple of great customer experiences, service experiences. Really great one in store with Jeffrey. He sold it to me. Absolutely excellent service from him. And then I thought it might go on sale soon, and the next day it did go on sale. It was $1529.99 originally. Very next day it was available for $1149.99 on BestBuy.com. I was able to use the chat on BestBuy.com for that order number. Excellent customer service on the chat, and they were able to credit me the difference on the price there. So all told, it's about it's just over $1,200 after tax that I'm completely out right now. That order number was delivered on Tuesday, August 5th, and there was a lot of damage on the box. You can see that it looks like it's sustained a drop potentially on the corner here, either during shipment from the manufacturing site or during shipment from Best Buy to my home. We also see, and it's kind of interesting here, you can see that there's been significant compression of the box right here. And the box looked all compressed like that. So I was a little bit leery, and maybe my mistake was trusting Best Buy and opening it and giving them the benefit of the doubt. Also a little bit of damage on this corner as well. I got the computer and I opened it up and I noticed another thing on the box. Inside on the box, there was significant damage on the cardboard that kind of holds down the top of the computer. That is consistent with that crushing. And then also in this cardboard, it may be hard to see here. Let me get a different angle on the light. You can see an indent all the way around here, which is the same shape as the computer below it. And that leads me to believe that it may have been crushed from the top like this or crushed during this drop, but significant shipping damage to the box. And I don't know if that was from Best Buy's warehouse to me or if it was from HP to Best Buy's warehouse. I just don't know. My mistake, I decided to give Best Buy the benefit of the doubt and try the computer. So I'll show you what happened with the computer here. Really disappointing here that Best Buy has put me out about $1,200. So I've got the computer here. I have not carried it to work, carried it in laptop case, anything like that. It's been used on this table, only this table in my home. And after a few days of use, look at that. The screen went completely out on this computer. It actually went out. I was using the computer yesterday evening during a fantasy football draft. I grabbed the computer right here, like so, to move the screen back about a centimeter. So it was simply this motion of moving it back and forth about a centimeter. The screen went totally out. So today I went back to that same Best Buy that I made the purchase at, the Fields Ertel, Ohio store. And I had possibly the worst customer service experience of my life from somebody by the name of Kris, who had assistant manager on his name tag. And this is the Best Buy store at 9817 Waterstone Boulevard, Cincinnati, Ohio. That's, they call it the Fields Ertel store. It's off Fields Ertel Road in the Mason Deerfield Township area. So I showed this to Kris, the manager. I mentioned to him that it was simply while moving the screen just a little bit, just a centimeter back and forth like that to change the viewing angle a touch, that this happened yesterday evening. Now, this is intended to be a computer. It's got the hinges here. It's a 2-in-1 laptop that you can flip over into tent mode or flip over into a tablet mode. I've not done that on this computer whatsoever. I've only used it in this position, and I moved this a centimeter back and forth to change the viewing area, and that happened from it. Now, it's fairly obvious to me, given that very, very slight movement and given the damage on this box that we see from shipping, that this was previously existing damage from that thing getting crushed during transit. And the straw that broke the camel's back was this very light couple grams of force touch that I do. That's, common on laptops. We change the angle of the screen all the time as we're doing different viewing angle stuff. And in fact, this is intended to be flipped over into tablet mode, etc. As I mentioned, I've got these other HP machines that I have not had issues with. We use them quite heavily in a work setting. Work at a large company. We have a lot of HPs. Never see anything like this happen. Since it's just a really, really quick touch, I figured that would not be an issue. We're in the return timing, so I brought this back. And during the discussion with Kris, Kris tried to turn it into a gotcha moment. He said, "Sir, we have an SOP." And I gotcha. You told me you grabbed the computer to change the angle of the top. When you grabbed it, just by moving that computer, it's obvious that you broke the computer. And there's no way without a defect that was caused during that shipment process. I guess it could be a manufacturing defect, although I wouldn't think HP would sell a $1,500 computer that's this bad. But Kris seemed very happy at that Best Buy to tell me it was my fault, that I shouldn't be using a computer and changing the angle of the top of the lid of the computer. That's just something you don't do. You touched it and you broke it. And he seemed very proud of that. It was condescending and demeaning, absolutely unbelievable. It was both my wife and I there. He was really, really mean to us. And now I've got this $1,200 paperweight with a bad screen. And Kris essentially told me to kick rocks, get out of his store, that they would not take this back on return, that this is my fault. I did show Kris everything on the box here at the Fields Ertel store. I showed him that compression-like indentation. I showed him the damage on the corner of the box from shipping, and he said, "Oh, nope, gotcha, too bad. You opened it, and you actually tried to use it like you would use a laptop and change it, so it's your fault." So incredibly bad experience. I'm out $1,200. I'm thinking of what the next things are to do for recourse. But the first thing I want to do, get this video out there so you guys all know that Best Buy location on Fields Ertel Road. And if Kris is to be believed, he says they're following an SOP, basically never to give anybody a refund on anything if the person has actually used the item at all. Even if there's a shipping defect, even if there's a manufacturer's defect, they have an SOP to never give refunds. So I want to make sure everybody's warned. It's just a company that can't be trusted anymore. It's really a shame. Worst customer experience I've ever had. And I guess I'm out $1,200. That'll conclude the video. Thanks much.